UFC Fight Night Gane versus Tuivasa. Bam Bam! In the heavyweight division, that is the main event, but that's not going to be my underdog of the night. You see, the title of this video is UFC France, UFC Fight Night Gane Tuivasa, underdog of the card. Out of all 12 favorites and out of all 12 underdogs, which one of those underdogs do I think has the best value? I'm not just going to go on for an underdog that I think is going to win. For example, like Christian Quinones, I'm going to go with the underdog on this entire card I think has the most value out of any single fighter on the card. Now, it's not going to be Christian Quinones. The odds that as of right now are pretty much minus 110, a minus 110, minus 111, minus 109 right there. So even if I wanted to have my actual underdog pick as my underdog of the card, the value really isn't there to put an underdog bet on Christian Quinones as of right now. So we gotta find an underdog out of all of these fighters that has the absolute best value out of all other underdogs on this entire card. Before I get into my actual underdog of the card, make sure to comment down below your underdog of the card. If you comment the correct underdog and they win the fight on Saturday, you only get one comment down below. One of you guys that does comment, I'm going to put you in a random name generator, and one of you guys that comments correctly your best underdog for this card will get all of my UFC 279 bets. But only if that can happen, we need 50 likes on this video. So let's look at the fight card really quick. Ailin Perez and Stephanie Egger. This was about to be my underdog of the card for a second there, but we kind of postponed this video a little bit too long, whereas as of right now, plus 215 really doesn't interest me too much. Plus 220 really doesn't interest me. Plus 205, 208 doesn't really interest me to have a value underdog of the card. Because personally, we put 25 bucks on Ailin Perez at plus 285 for a little bit of an underdog sprinkle. As of right now, the Ailin Perez line, I just really don't want to take a stab at it. So maybe a few days ago, Ailin Perez possibly could have been our underdog of the card based off of value. I don't think Ailin Perez will win, but based off of value, she could have been our underdog of the card, but she's not going to be. So the first two fights on the card will not have my underdog of the card. We're going to go to the top, Cyril Gane and Ty Bam Bam Tuivasa. Now this is an interesting one because Bam Bam is at plus 440 on DraftKings right now. That is the best odds you are going to get for Tai Tuivasa. If you want to make it a step further, go plus 650 for the KO TKO prop. Now that is a pretty decent amount of value right there, but he's not going to be my underdog of the card. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Cyril Gane's in a lot of my parlays with a lot of other good guys on this card that I have confident picks with. There's no way I'm going to have a guy in my parlay and say the other guy should be my underdog of the card. So Ty Bam Bam will not be underdog of the card. Robert Whittaker, same with him. Robert Whittaker is definitely not going to be... Marvin Vettori is definitely not going to be the underdog of the card here because I think Robert Whittaker wins this fairly easily. I could be, jinxing myself right now. Vettori could go out there and get a submission for all I know, but I think Whittaker should easily win this fight. Great takedown defense and much, much better striking, so Marvin Vettori is not going to be my underdog. Alessio De Chirico, Roman Kopylov is literally a 50-50, so no way either of them is going to be my underdog of the card. John McDessie is close to possibly being an underdog of the card, but we're going to need a little bit more. He's sitting at plus 201 right now. If there's a little bit more of a push to like plus 230, plus 240, I might actually make him my underdog of the card, but right now, I don't see it as the most valuable underdog on this card. Jarno Aarons, no. I mean, what are the odds right now for Jarno Aarons? They are at plus 190 best, plus 162 at the worst. Nah, that's just not good enough for me for Jarno Aarons. I would need him to be... I'm talking plus 300. I mean, that's where I would say there's value on Jarno Aarons. I don't think it's a good bet for an underdog on Jarno Aarons there. Nathaniel Wood, no, I'm pretty good on... if you watch my Confident Picks video, I'm feeling pretty good on Charles Jourdain. So, no, Nathaniel Wood, definitely not a confident... my underdog of the card right there. Dustin Stoltzfus, I would say this is a mid tier. Usually every week we do one of these underdog of the card videos. I have some of those mid tier underdogs of the card. Number one is going to be John McDessie for the card if his odds go a little bit higher. Number two is going to be Dustin Stolze. He's at plus 230. He's fighting for his life inside of the UFC, and if he can defend the takedowns and land just a little bit more volume on Abasupian, he's got a good shot of winning this fight. So although I don't think Dustin wins, he'll be a slightly okay underdog of the card. Just a mid-tier underdog, just like John McDessie right there. Fares Ziam, Michael Figlak. Not really, not really. Fares Ziam plus 182. I'm assuming there's probably going to be a little bit of money coming in on Figlak on Saturday or Friday. So maybe if the odds bump up a little bit more, he could be even a mid-tier underdog of the card, but he's nowhere near being my actual underdog of the card. Benoit Saint-Denis, Gabriel Miranda, you know Benoit Saint-Denis is a confident pick of mine. So, of course, he's not going to be, Gabriel Miranda is not going to be the underdog of the card, which leaves me with only one fight left, and that is Nassourdine Imavov versus Joaquin Buckley. In the middleweight division, Joaquin Buckley is going to be my underdog of the card. Do I think Buckley wins this fight? No. Am I confident Buckley wins? No. I have Nassourdine Imavov winning in round number 3 by TKO or by a decision. The reason I'm going to have Joaquin Buckley as my underdog of the card here is that's kind of what my underdog of the card was the last time he fought. With Albert Duraev getting the second round TKO, he was about the same of an underdog at plus 190 against Albert Duraev. I personally bet Joaquin Buckley on that fight. Nassourdine Imavov, this is a similar situation where Nassourdine is a very good wrestler, very good grappler. He's tall, he's lengthy, he's got some good striking. Albert Duraev was a good wrestler, good grappler with some okay striking and things like that. And Buckley was able to use his gas tank effectively in round 1 and in round 2 to win both of those rounds on the judges' scorecards, and just so happened to get that doctor stoppage win and win the fight by TKO. Now, do I think he's going to knock out Nassourdine? No. Again, my prediction is Nassourdine Imavov to win in round number 3 by TKO with ground and pound or by a decision right here, 29-28. The reason I'm going to have Joaquin Buckley as the underdog in the card is because of how fast he starts. How fast Joaquin Buckley starts, he's got a very live chance of going out there and knocking out Nassourdine Imavov in round number 1. Very good chance of going out there and doing that to Nassourdine Imavov. If that doesn't happen, he'll at least rock Nassourdine Imavov a little bit in round number 1. That is the round I actually gave to Joaquin Buckley on my prediction. So I think he wins round 1. And if round 2, Joaquin Buckley can go out there with a similar mindset of coming forward, throwing bombs, defending the takedowns, there's a good shot Joaquin Buckley can steal round 2, survive round 3, and win a 29-28 decision. So Joaquin Buckley is going to be my underdog of the card. I don't think he's going to win. I do have Christian Quinones as my only underdog I legitimately think is going to win the fights. But in terms of value, plus 220 on Joaquin Buckley for a fight that really comes down to round number 2, in my opinion. I lean Nassourdine Imavov because I think he mixes in the takedowns in that round number 2, but again, Buckley's explosive. He could survive round 2, defend the takedowns, land some bombs, and he could be up 2-0 heading into round number 3. So Buckley is my underdog of the card. Make sure to put your underdog of the card down below in the comment section if you do and you get it correct. After Saturday's card, I'll put your name, your username on YouTube into a random name generator. It'll spin around, so whichever one it lands on will get every single one of my money line, prop bets, parlays, and everything like that for UFC 279. Completely free if we get this video to 50 likes. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. You think Joaquin Buckley is a good underdog? Comment down below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.